Everybody needs that way to release, and fishing really, to me, it's my ultimate release. When I'm on the water, I forget about that bad day I had at work this week or everything else going on in my life.
I'm addicted. I've been fishing since I was 10 years old, and I don't think I can quit.
Fish because it's a passion of mine. I love to teach people. I love to fish for myself. It's been a passion of mine since I was a kid.
Well, it's like the first time every time for me. Finding the fish, having an understanding of where they should be, and then having them be there is very satisfying.
You know, it seems like every little thing you do within fishing changes the outcome. My mind is just completely focused on everything going on in my surroundings. I just kind of lose myself in it.
Hook 2 is Lowrance's new value range entry-level product, which gives you great features and great benefits, all for a very affordable price. So for those of you who may have wanted side scan in the past and not been able to get it in an entry-level product, we now have that from a 5-inch all the way up through a 12-inch in this new Hook 2 range. Hook 2 is also the most easy-to-use fish finder we've ever made. Really, our goal with Hook 2 is to have a fish finder that the average person can put it on their boat, turn it on, and go fish. You don't have to be an expert in sonar. You don't have to fumble with menus. Literally, you turn the product on, it's in auto mode, you see the fish, the catching them is up to you.
Without my electronics, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. I'd be constantly having to try to find new ways to find fish.
Being able to find the structure, find the bait fish. Spend less time on the water searching for fish and more time fishing and catching fish.
Well, when you're trying to catch fish, if you can shorten your time, the time that it takes you to locate those fish, I mean, that's huge, that's critical. So that's one of the harder parts of fishing is finding them.
With Hook 2, we did want to target ease of use. Seems obvious, right, when you think about it, ease of use. So we took a step back and looked at a lot of the things we'd done previously, how we could do them better. We've automated a lot of the features for you. So asking a lot of customers that know little to nothing about marine sonar, you always ask them what do they want, and they say, I want to find fish. I want to turn it on and go.
I was a little skeptical at first because I was used to using the older hooks. The key buttons on this new unit is a little bit different, but the menus are very intuitive. It's going to be very popular and easy to use.
I wouldn't be afraid to have it on my boat, I can tell you that. As a matter of fact, we went out there for just 30 minutes and you know, I was able to do a lot of the things I was able to do with the higher end units, and a lot easier. You just turn it on, turn it off. Everything's automatic. It does it on its own. I was able to see fish over the tops of trees. We fished a drop shot and caught a couple, and it was fun.
Easy to find fish is our auto tuning sonar. We have it automatically set up for you to just turn it on and fish. Another aspect of the easy to find fish is we have double the cone angle that any of our previous products or our competitors' products use today, which allows you to see more fish in the water column, track your baits better. We're giving you a single wide angle, a high frequency, to give you the definition of the targets, but to also give you the wide cone angle that you would look for in, say, something like we used to use in like an 83 or a medium sharp.
When I've got a day off, it's nice to just be able to turn the equipment on and go. You know, go find them.
The arches are bigger. You don't lose quality. The quality's still there.
Oh, as soon as I turned it on, I instantly saw a beautiful picture. It's very clear, it's very crisp, it's very detailed.
Flip through a screen here and there, you know, to go to a different view, and the simplicity that the product brings makes it so much easier.
So we have developed this product to hit price points specifically based on feedback or where we've seen ourselves do well, our competitors do well. We wanted to make the best value, right priced product for this market.
My money is hard to come by to start with, so I look to get the highest quality equipment that I can at the lowest price.
These units have taken down a lot of those cost barriers to entry, if you will.
So it's very economical, very easy to use, and the sonar pictures are outstanding.
A lot of the touring pros, you know, they've got tens of thousands of dollars just in electronics. Now you can get that same technology in a smaller package and lead to the same results.
I was very impressed. For the money, you can't beat it.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Kayak Bass Live on a Tuesday night. We had a very late start, technical issues as usual. I don't know what the deal was, and I just started getting messages from Mike, people saying, or he's saying, all commercials, no talking. Yeah, I purposely ran that Lawrence bit on the Hook 2 because Hook 2 is the reason why we are here tonight. They are basically the reason why I got Jimmy Reese on, which is fantastic, and I'm very thankful to Lawrence and Michael Lavoie who helped hook me up with Jimmy Reese, and I'm thankful to Jimmy Reese for coming on. But that's why that went on. The Hook 2 is going to be a fantastic unit. It's great for kayaks, small boats. It's a ready-to-fish fish finder, and we will be talking with Jimmy a little bit more about that here in a little bit. But again, thank you for tuning in. Remember, like, share, tag a friend, let everyone know you're watching tonight, and help spread the word of Kayak Bass Live and kayak bass fishing across the nation. So the thing will be a little different tonight. Normally I interview a winner from a kayak tournament across the nation, but there as we move into the wintertime and a lot of the guys in the north and parts of the country, they're starting to have hard water and their lakes are freezing over, so less and less tournaments. And kayaks, for a lot of people, is a fair weather kind of sport. So we're going to have less and less tournament anglers or kayak tournament anglers to interview. So I'm having to reach out and get creative. At least I'll have to be. I got lucky with Jimmy personally. So that's great. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try to get into everything. Again, I can't really know if I can see comments. I have a really kind of this issue with comments not working. I don't know why, but let's see if I open it back up if it'll work. Oh yeah, so I do have comments going. But yeah, so with that, remember, use the hashtag Kayak Bass Live on Instagram for a chance to be featured on the live stream. Steve says no sound on live stream. I've got sound. I'm pretty sure the sound is working. So if somebody can maybe say something. Let's see. All right. Anyways, so Instagram. Super tacky, corny the way I do this, but all right. So yeah. Oh, the reason why you couldn't hear me talking is because Facebook is doing like this thing where you're not supposed to be running commercials. So in order for me to kind of skirt that, I'm putting my picture up in the corner so that way you can see that I'm live, but my commercials is separate, and you can tell that it's separate from a live thing. It's really weird. It's hard to explain. You have to do live streams to kind of understand what they're trying to eliminate. But anyways, so with that, let me go over here. It's a really, really tacky. I'm doing this on, let's see, Kayak Bass Live. There we go. All right, so use hashtag Kayak Bass Live and be featured on here. Looks like, Kayak City team. Look at this beast. Caught on Clear Lake. Ooh, fancy. On Clear Lake. Using the hashtag Kayak Bass Live. Featured on Kayak Bass Live. All right, so go over there, follow us, Kayak Bass Live on Instagram, and I feel like I've broken record. Anyways, so some results from across the nation for some tournaments. Two of them were actually online events, and one of them was a live event. There was the Black Bass Black Bass Friday, like Black Friday tournament over for KBF online event. And there were 98 anglers who signed up for that. Third place went to Jason Broach with 98 1/4 inches. Second place went to Doug Wilson with 101 3/4. And Joey Sullivan kicked the field's rear with a 105 3/4 inch submission, I guess. And the big fish went to Jim Clark with a 23 2/4. So that's like an 8.5 or so, depending on how fat and how full the belly is. And at 105 3/4, for those who are watching on our Bass Boaters, that's roughly like catching 27 or so pounds. So that's a fat sack. Yeah, because like typically a 20 incher is about a 5-pounder, and he had 4 of those plus an initial, or he had 5 of those plus an initial 5 inches, which would be 100 inches would be like catching 5 5-pounders plus an initial 5 inches. So he probably had somewhere between like 26 and 28 pounds, which is pretty cool. There was also the Grande Bass Big Bass Showdown out in Texas on Lady Bird Lake. 84 anglers signed up for that, but they only had 35 fish submitted, so it was a big fish tournament. And you had to use Grande Bass equipment only, or Grande Bass lures only. They make a lot of soft plastics. And the winner was Oscar Castillo with a 22 1/4 inch fish down in Lady Bird Lake. That's on my bucket list, Lady Bird. They got quite the following of kayak anglers down in the Austin area. 2017 Best of the Best on Tourney X. So if you're not sure what that was, Dwayne Wally ran like a tournament, so to speak, where guys can submit all their best 5 fish for the entire year. So there wasn't like a timeline that they had a window. It just had to be from this year. And the best of the best from Tourney X went to first place went to Glenn Wingate with 122 inches for his best 5 fish over the whole year. That is absolutely amazing. I can't remember, the average was like 24 or 25 inches, so he had some studs, absolute studs. Big fish for 2017 in that little tournament. Granted, there are a lot of people who may have had quite a few fish that are bigger than that, but anyways, in that little event, Tony Yang had the biggest fish of 2017 with 26 1/2 inches. That is an absolute stud. Tony Yang's in Georgia, by the way. And I want to give a shout out to Matthew Brandon. He actually took 6th place overall for that with 115 3/4 inches. A lot of those fish, I'm pretty sure, came from Clear Lake and or Lake Sonoma. So big shout out to him, one of our local Cali boys. Also, remember, tonight's show is brought to you by Fisherman's Warehouse. For like, sharing, commenting, tagging a friend, you are entered to win a Fisherman's Warehouse gift card. I will draw for last week's at the end. And Fisherman's Warehouse has been serving the community here in Northern California for over 35 years. And so be sure to share, and so you can win a Fisherman's Warehouse gift card. The gift card is actually good for all 3 locations: Manteca, where I work, Sacramento, where Alan Fong works, and San Jose as well. And it also works on Fishman'sWarehouse.com. So if you do not live in the area, you can still win a gift card and still use it. So you don't have to live here in California. So that is that. I'm not sure how long I went. I told Jimmy it'd be about 10 minutes, but maybe a little bit less. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little couple commercials. Yes, I will be up in that right-hand corner, but you won't hear me. But this is how I grow this, and this is how I eventually can get paid to do this. So I do commercials. I apologize. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and roll a couple commercials. One for Fisherman's Warehouse and another one about the Hook 2 unit, and then we'll be on with Jimmy Reese. So stay tuned. Remember, like, share, tag a friend. See if I can click it. All right, there we go.
Hey folks, Greg Gutierrez down here in Sacramento at Fisherman's Warehouse. Just wanted to give you a tip on some of the new hooks, the new trapper hooks that are out. A couple of different hook styles are the regular offset. I use the 6.95 flirt with it, but the deal is these things come out perfectly straight, and what happens is they won't pull down like your normal hook. It just holds right in place. The box keeps it in line. The other bait that I like to throw on it is when I'm throwing a drop shot or a nose hook type drop shot. This is just a small 4.95 flirt. Just nose hook it through, line it in, throw it on some good 6-pound test, 8-pound test line. Work this thing anywhere. Let the fish get on it, load it up, and it just rips their lips right off. trapper hooks, go look for them in your store.
All right, we are back with Jimmy Reese. I'm super excited to have him, FLW Tour Pro. I got a couple of stats here that I want to read off about Jimmy to stroke his ego a little bit here. All right.
You only need one page.
Yeah, one page. Yeah, well, about one page. So anyways, Jimmy Reese, if you didn't know, so we're Kayak Bass Live. If you did not know, Jimmy Reese got his start basically doing the exact same thing we do as kayak anglers. The only thing is he's doing it in a float tube. Granted, it's a little bit tougher in a float tube, really, in reality, because when you're using, you have to use your legs, and we're using a tube, huh? Like an actual tube. You're not using a U-boat or like a pontoon. You're using an old style belly boat, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Round tube, yes.
Yeah. So he got his workout. So I'm in a pro angler, and I could do 15 miles, cover 15 miles in a day, give or take. If I really wanted to, I probably could do 20, but I'd really have to set my mind to it and go. In a belly boat, you're probably doing maybe a mile and a half. Maybe? I don't know. Have you ever, how far, if you ever tried to figure that out? You should do that.
If I did it for a mile and a half, man, I'd be playing football right now with my legs.
Well, I'm saying like round trip. I'm not saying 50 miles out. I'm saying like 50 miles like round trip or like 20 miles. You probably maybe a mile and a half. Maybe you can do like 3/4.
You're killing me. I'd say maybe 400 yards each way.
So, really?
Quarter mile?
Maybe 3/4 of a mile only? Come on now.
Yeah, come on. You got to be smart. You got to work smart, not hard.
Right. Okay. Well, now I think about it too. Is that you guys did your tournaments? You guys didn't do single launch. You guys did a lot of open launch, right?
Yeah, I bought a brand new 5.0 Mustang, 87. I took the front seat out, my passenger seat out.
No way.
And I put big old ice chest there and hooked up an aerated live well system. I had the system going on. Wow.
When you buy a brand new car and you basically maul it, so that way you can be a fisherman, that shows die hard. That is absolute die hard. Wow, that's really cool. That's a nice little tidbit.
I have to take the whoopers out to get the rods in there.
Oh man. All right, so Jimmy is an FLW Tour Pro, and he's been fishing professionally for 18 years. He was a co-angler prior to that for 7 years, according to your website. He has 22 career top 10 finishes with FLW. That's from FLW. He has 4 Angler of the Year titles, including FLW Rayovac, or it's now Costa Series Angler of the Year titles. Jimmy has 9 professional wins and 4 career tournament wins with FLW, and over $1 million in career earnings. And I've got a couple more, but I'm gonna sprinkle those in here and there. So, anyways. So stroke it's Jimmy's ego. I'm really excited to have him on because he's quite the high caliber fisherman here in California, and like I said, I'm super excited to have him on here and talk about the Hook 2 unit. So tell us about the Hook 2, man. They gave you the lowdown to give us the lowdown. So give it to us, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Lowrance has come out with a real simple unit to use, something that's really affordable to anybody. And so, somebody trying to get a start in the industry, there's a lower level, high end unit that somebody can use, and it's easy to install, easy to navigate on the system itself. So it's very, very simple to use, which is nice. And I remember starting out and trying to navigate through electronics, and you get lost all the time. So here's something that's simple that anybody can use, and it's perfect for a kayak or a float tube, U-boat. Even a bass boat. You can get a 5, 7, 9, 12, whatever size you need. Whatever fits your budget. The Hook 2 is definitely the way to go. I mean, they got the Carbon series, they have the TI series, but I'll tell you what, this Hook 2, man, they hit a home run. It's perfect and ready to go right out of the box.
That's one of the cool things about it too, because I was telling Jimmy that personally, I have a really hard time knowing whether I've got my unit set up, adjusting, the sensitivity and the frequencies and then adjusting, the auto depth and all of that stuff. It can be daunting, and at times I'm wondering if I'm making it worse, or sometimes I feel like I might be making it better, or when I need to turn off the 84 hertz or the 84, and then there's like the 200, and when to turn one off and when to use one or the other. Like I don't know. I'm just tinkering with stuff, and when I start seeing arches, then I know, hey, I'm probably doing something right. With it being
this will do all of that for you.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything. It automatically does it.
Yeah, and the cool thing too is that what was I going to say? I had something and it just went. It just went. There's a bird. It flies away. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I believe we'll have them at Fisherman's Warehouse hopefully before long. I believe they're supposed to be released to the stores within. Hold on, what happened here? All right, there we go. I hopefully within the next week or two. I believe they're supposed to be released mid-December, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. Let's see. So I've got some reading material here. So the menu is supposed to be a lot like using a phone. So if you can use a smartphone, you can use a Hook 2. It's definitely modernized and updated. It's got a new industrial design. Increased screen sizes. So increased screen sizes, I believe that has to do with the amount of screen on the unit itself it actually takes up. So you may buy you call it a 9-inch unit, but you're going to get closer to actually a 9-inch unit versus like the extra 3/4 to an inch that you get for like your controls and everything. So it's actually going to take up more space of the actual unit itself, if that makes sense. See, improved sonar, automatic sonar, added side scan. Oh, really cool thing is it's a wider cone, which is really cool, especially for something like me, the California guys who like to drop shot directly underneath this. So I have a different brand right now. We're not going to say. I have a different brand. You get the idea. And I drop my drop shot down. And if I have to actually drift in, I have to drift over the top of my hook and my weight in order to see it on my unit. And even then, my cone's not that big. So I'm hoping when I pick up a Hook 2 that the cone will be big enough that when I do that, I'll be able to see my drop. We'll drop it where I normally drop it, and not have to worry about have to drift in order to see my actual my drop shot fall down. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that. That's just from a kayak's perspective. Hopefully that sells some units there. But no, I'm serious. I feel like my cone may not be big enough when I drop it down. I have to I almost hold my rod almost vertically and open the bail and have it fall down, and then I start drifting, and then I don't know, halfway through, I finally start to see my weight come onto the screen. But anyways,
what's crazy with is the side scan opportunities. I mean, think about it. As having a kayak and having side scan, which is crazy. And so where you can scan out, because a lot of people don't understand this, that might not have a bass boat, but I mean, you're able to scan out 20, 30, 50 feet, I mean, even further if you want, out to left and right to find that rock pile, to find that lay down tree, to find that bait ball or anything, So it's pretty crazy to have a kayak where you can cover a cone of, say, 50 feet, and you see something to the left. I mean, you just point your kayak over there and make a cast. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
I know that in order to even use side scan, you have to maintain a certain amount of speed, correct?
Yeah, you're better off just just moving.
Right. In a kayak, we do that already. We're creeping along anyways. So, it's kind of like using a kayak and using side scan pretty much almost go hand in hand. Even if I'm burning bank and down throwing a spinner bait or throwing a lipless or something, I'm trying to cover water, I might be doing 1.5 miles, maybe, and I'm pretty sure that's a pretty good speed for side scan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's beautiful. That works good.
Yeah. So,
I helped me find I found 2 trailers in Clear Lake with my side scan.
Trailers like that kind of trailer, or are you talking about like a boat trailer?
I'm talking like a boat trailer.
Okay, I was like, wow.
So, I mean, literally, you can see the cross beams. I mean, you can see everything. It is so detailed. It's crazy. And you know how many fish I've caught off those trailers? Oh, a lot. One of them's in about, I'd say about 10 feet of water, and the other one's in about, right now it's probably in about 4 feet of water. Wow. Pretty shallow, right on the end of a dock.
Oh.
So, but nobody.
Okay, so I'm gonna go side scan a bunch of docks, and we'll go find your trailers, huh?
I should do a contest or something. Find that trailer.
Find that trailer, and Jimmy send you a bag of Cincos.
It's a good start.
Yeah. Well, we've got a few guys that fish up at Clear Lake. Oh
no, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I was at the Coastie event, and they were all over my spot.
Yeah.
One of my spots.
Yeah,
and they were them too.
There's a group up there, Lake County kayak anglers, and we had a few of them out for our KBF event, and it's booming, man. I don't know if you're aware. You're probably not aware, but next year we have a KBF Open at Clear Lake. If we hit 200 anglers, we're guaranteed a $10,000 in first place.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah. So that's thanks to Chad Hoover and all the boys over at KBF.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told that to Ish, and Ish is like, "Are there any rules on who can enter it?" No, it's an open. It's an open. So we might see a couple big boys be fishing with us over there.
When is it?
It's in August. I believe I think it's August.
You have an extra kayak?
I will have an extra kayak. But I'll take a percentage of the winnings. So yeah, it's the 24th and 25th. I'm not sure what the entry fee is going to be yet, but pretty sure they've already pulled the permits for it. So
yeah, writing it down.
Yeah. I'm serious. $10,000, dude. And 208. We had, I think, our biggest tournament. Our biggest tournament so far out here is like 70 something. But that was the beginning of the year, and every year it grows exponentially. So I totally think it's totally possible. Plus, we're gonna have guys from all over the United States potentially flying out here, because it's a lot easier to fly out here and rent a kayak from one of the shops. So that's what we're hoping. We're hoping you can hit 200. If we don't hit 200, I'm gonna be somewhat surprised. But I definitely know we're gonna break records for our attendance. That's for sure.
Right.
So
where you guys going?
It's open. It's open launch.
Oh, well, you don't have a specific. Oh, wow.
Mm-mm.
Is it all done online?
Yeah, it's all submit. You submit it with an app on your phone.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah. So we use our hog trough, which is it's a universal board we all use, and we use an identifier. Everybody gets an identifier. It's like a piece of paper, and you have to write a alphanumeric code that you can only get the night before. So once it turns dark is basically when it's released, so that way you can't use it right during the day. So an alphanumeric code, you write that on that piece of paper in whatever box if it's KBF, and when you take your picture, boom, they check to make sure that identifier's in there with that code, and it's time stamped. And you have to have your GPS turned on to make sure your GPS on your phone has to be turned on, so make sure you're actually on the lake in the proper body of water, and that's pretty much it. And it'll be your best 5.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
things have advanced, that's for sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's blowing up, man. It's blowing up. It's a lot easy. It's a lot cheaper to become a professional kayak angler anymore versus a professional basketball guy.
Well, tell me this: what kind of tow vehicles do you guys have?
Yeah, any one you want.
you got the F350, and then you also probably got the Super Beetle.
Yeah, I've got a buddy. I've got a joke about. I tell everybody this. They're like, "Oh, I don't have any way to transport it." I was like, "My buddy, he puts a kayak on top of his Geo Metro."
That's awesome.
It's beat the hell, but he puts it on his Geo Metro. He does it.
That's good.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, if you got a passion, there's a will, there's a way. That's
yep.
It.
So, all right. So, we want to talk a little bit more about the Hook 2. Anybody got questions about the Hook 2 before we start moving on here? Let's see. I don't know what the deal is. You guys are probably asking questions and stuff, or just listening. I'm not sure, but it's kind of. I probably should open it up on my actual computer here and read questions this way. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Something about when I try to open on my iPad, the questions don't stream very well. So I'm gonna see if I can open it here on Facebook on my computer. Read the questions a little bit more intuitively, I guess. All right, let's open it here. Boom, and kill this. All right, let me see. Am I good? Looks like I'm good. All right, so we got questions over here. Oh man, we got a lot of questions. A lot of people have Oh wow! Well, my buddy says his money is on one of the Southern guys for Clear Lake in August when it happens. It'll be $100 entry fee. Says James. What else we got going on here? You live bait, live action. Let's see. There's a troll. I wonder if I can. I hope I can't quite do it. Yeah, so we have this problem with internet trolls getting on our live stream, and anyway, so all right, let me see. Yeah, okay, so yeah, oh yeah, national championship next year, $100,000 first place in March at Kentucky Lake, and some of my questions, some of my questions actually pertain to Kentucky Lake, so.
I like Kentucky Lake. That's an awesome lake.
Yeah, so we're going to pick your brain a little bit about Kentucky Lake for some of us California boys and getting California's perspective.
Didn't you have a championship there this last year?
Yeah, the last one was, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Travis Moran says, "Who is your favorite FLW live host?"
Live who?
Yeah, Travis Moran says, "Who is your favorite FLW live host?"
Tell Travis until he has me on his show. I'm not going to answer that.
Right on.
You're my favorite. You know, David Dudley actually is a rock star. He does a great job on that show. But you know, honestly, everybody that's on there is pretty good. But Travis, you're number one. Don't worry.
All right, so yeah, I was scrolling all the way to the bottom and trying to read questions, and I realized that there's feed from the top. I was thinking they feed from the bottom up, but whatever. We move on. So
you have that Shimano hat on too tight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you have a real sponsor? I was trying to find who. I was trying to find. I was reading through your sponsors.
You know, actually, right now I don't. I use Revos. I got bunch of Revos that I use, and I really like them. I've tried a couple other ones, but they're simple, easy to use. Just keep them clean, and they work. So, yeah, that's funny you ask because I don't.
Oh, it was that in no way was a jab at you. Okay, just so you know, it was honest. It was an honest to God curiosity question. Now my hat's all crooked. Thank you. It made me all self-conscious. Now we messed up my look. I don't look fly anymore. not that I look fly before, but anyway. So
I think you need a little sun on the top there.
So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and ask one question. It's actually, this next one's actually pertaining to Lowrance, somewhat anyway. So, my buddy Ernie and Steve Melander, I want to give you guys a shout out because I asked people to post questions, and for whatever reason, you guys dropped the ball. And I'm very disappointed in you, but we're going to move on. So, Ernie and Steve, thank you for asking questions. So I can ask Jimmy. I got some preloaded that I can ask. Granted, you guys will ask questions on here, and I'll ask them too. But anyway, so shout out to those guys. The first question is actually from Ernie. Ernie says, when you find fish using your Lowrance sonar, and they are there any keys to know if they are actually catchable or if you should keep looking?
Well, I think each lake is a little different, and there's a lot of scenarios. Time of year. Kentucky Lake. I remember, learning there on which fish were eating and watching the fish position themselves according to the current. Whether there's a lot of current or less current. And but for there, I noticed when the fish were tighter to the bottom, I was able to catch those versus like 4 or 5 feet off the bottom. And even though maybe I'd throw a crankbait through it, it wasn't as simple or easy to catch the fish as the ones that I was marking on the bottom. That was definitely when the current was moving. But when the current wasn't moving, obviously they were sitting up a little more. So it's kind of all makes sense really. On Clear Lake, it's kind of it's different. In the fall when you're seeing all the bait out there, I mean, you see fish everywhere. I mean, it's crazy how many millions of fish are in Clear Lake right now, but they're not all catchable. And so, again, I think it's more whatever's closer to the structure seems to be the ticket, closer to the bottom. Seems to be the easier ones to catch. But, there are times of year in the fall, especially when you have to try to catch them because they're not on the bottom. They're on the bait balls. They're on the bait itself. And so you have to throw a jerk bait. You have to throw a fluke. You have to throw a crankbait. You have to throw something that's coming through the middle water column there. And so, they're hard to catch, but you can catch them. So, but the ticket, my rule of thumb is if it's close to the bottom, they're easier to catch for sure.
Throw that good old jig.
Yeah, that'll work.
I love throwing a jig. So that was a great that was a great first question, Ernie, and that was a great answer, Jimmy. High five. So next question is actually pertaining to Kentucky Lake. Ernie asks, for the California kayak anglers making their trek out to Kentucky Lake for the national championship, what advice do you have for them?
When is it? What time of year?
It's in March. It's at the end of March.
Yeah. I would fish shallow. I would find. Are you able to go into Barkley?
It's an open launch. We can go wherever we can get our happy rear ends.
Yeah. So we're going to be there in May. I think it's the first or second week of May. It's right after the Clear Lake Coast event. And, even then I'm going to be looking up shallow around, around all the bushes and everything. But, come March, they're obviously going to be pre-spawn. And I still think the easiest fish to catch, because the water's going to be warming up. I mean, we'll see what Mother Nature brings next year, because you never know. It might be snowing.
True.
But for the most part, I think the shallow bite with like a chatterbait or a square bill is probably going to be the ticket. To take home the top prize there. Some of the marinas. If you like fishing marinas and they allow the kayaks to be in there, those marinas hold fish. Just they plain out do. So, but they got that new C map on the Lowrance unit, so you can fish some of the ledges, but I would probably focus more on the shallower ledges. Maybe 10, 12, 15 feet, but more like the 7, 8 foot sandbars is probably what I would be looking for. Close to a point. Maybe or on a point.
Right.
So, yeah, and swim baits. On those bars are probably a pretty good way to go. So.
What is their? I'm trying to think. What is their forage there? I mean, what? Obviously not rainbow trout. So.
Oh, they got a lot of gizzard shad in there.
And those are like what? Those are like 6 to 7 inch long, aren't they? They're pretty big, aren't they?
Oh, they're bigger than that. They're 8, 10, 12 inches.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, I'll go out there with a depth 250 and just chucking wine.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be fish at all water columns. They'll be down deep too,
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, find out the website for the current and, look that up. And, is it easy to be out there in the middle of the lake in a kayak? I have no idea.
If you're in a pedal drive, it's not too bad as long as as long as you're not getting too many whitecaps.
Right.
But like I said, I can do 4.2 if I really try to go, but I end up burning out. But I can hold steady at like between 3.6 and 3.8 miles per hour.
Huh.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, if the wind's blowing, I might be creeping. We had a tournament out at Tower Park, and it was in September. September.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, we had an outgoing tide. And we had a north wind. So right there in Tower, all of us went south. So they were going against both the current and the wind. And the wind was blowing like 15 to 20, like 25 mile an hour gusts. So we had guys in the paddle kayaks, and they would paddle 10 to 20 feet and dip into a what am I blanking? A boat slip. They'd duck into a boat slip, and then they would come out. And then they paddle 10, 20 feet and then dip into a boat slip. Just to get out of the wind and take a break. And then the pedal drives, man, those guys were creeping, but they could get there. They just had to be just, with the little engine that could,
Yeah.
Or like Dory, just keep on swimming.
So do most of these kayaks all foot pedal, or do they use?
No, we have guys that use a standard paddle, and there's some guys who are actually really good and really competitive in paddle kayaks. But my 2 cents, and probably, even then they might agree with you. We definitely have an edge in a pedal kayak, because if you're constantly having to paddle and put your paddle down in order to make a cast or to readjust or this, that, and the other, and I can do all of that while still covering water. I can keep a rod in my hand all day and fish all day. But anyways, there are guys who do it. It's kind of preference. Some guys prefer to paddle.
Yeah, that's a good deal. How many of you guys go out in the ocean fishing?
Not I.
You guys are nuts.
Nope, not I.
Tournaments out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they get bumped. Every year somebody gets bumped by a great white.
Yeah.
Not bumped as in taken out, but
no.
Like they bumped the kayak.
Yeah. They say for whatever reason the great whites are actually attracted to the yellow kayaks. You guys still go out there in yellow kayaks. I don't know what it is, but they like that yellow. They still do it. Or actually, our one of our sister clubs or groups down in Southern California, Kayak Bass Fishing California, that's what they're called, run by Richard Penny. They actually went down there and fished for the rock bass and stuff out there in Morro Bay, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. Morro Bay.
Yeah. So they have like a their bass circuit and fishing the SoCal lakes down there, and then they threw in a rock bass as part of as one of their tournaments.
Now, how about I could see maybe like Santa Barbara Beach, casting out. I go down there and my wife lays in the sun, and I go out there with a spinning rod with a sluggo, and I act with a little darter head, like an 1/8 ounce or maybe 3/16 ounce dart head, and I'll actually fire it out there and catch halibut off the beach.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I keep telling myself when I buy a surf rod so I can go with the wife so she can go out and sit on the beach. But
yeah, you just get out there and catch halibut. And a kayak would be perfect.
Yeah, I'm big water, man. Big water scares me. I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess I'm just too chicken. It's just, but yeah. So all right. So another question from Ernie. Ernie says, what does ledge fishing mean back east, and what does it compare to out west?
This is my sponsor, just so you know.
Thanks for letting us borrow him.
Anytime.
Yeah. We got 34 people watching right now live.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys all made it. Yeah. So what was the question? Something about the FLW tour?
No, it was so let me see, where'd it go? Oh, what does ledge fishing mean out east versus what it would be? What would you compare it to fishing out here in the west?
Oh wow. The biggest difference I've seen so far is the lakes out there. It's like it's a river, and then it's like they raise the water level like 10 feet, and just floods everything. And where California and the lakes out here, it's more vertical. Clear Lake has kind of a rounded bowl on the north end, but the south end is more vertical. It is a little bit vertical where, your ledge fishing is, maybe it's 20 yards out, 50 yards out, where on the southern or back east, all those lakes, everything's a quarter mile off the bank or a half mile off the bank.
Wow.
And it's a new world for me. Just getting out there and all the Tennessee River lakes, But I'm adapting to it and I like it, and I'm just trying to. The hardest part is trying to eliminate most of it, and because there's so much of it. And I think you're just trying to learn, where's the grass, where's the rock, where, just trying to locate everything. So, that's where the side scan has really helped out a lot.
So you're saying they're trying to eliminate a lot of it, right? It's not the same kind of issue we have something like on the Delta where everything looks freaking phenomenal and you have to fish it. Or is it more? It's more on the opposite end of the spectrum where you just don't know where to go because there's just so much of it.
Yeah. It's kind of similar. Except you just can't see it. It's not visual. It's underwater, but it is overwhelming. Literally, because, your C map on or your Navionics. You can see the main river channel, and then you have all these creeks running off of it. But it's you might have 20 feet of water, but it's kind of flat, and it's literally, like I said, a quarter mile, half mile out everywhere, and you just got to learn. You got to learn to navigate it sometimes because it's only 5-8 feet in some areas, and you just, but you just, it's, I don't know, there's so much of it. It's just acres. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of acres just everywhere, just the flats. And you got to figure out which part of the flats are good and which aren't. And then, you wait for June, July, and they're right on the channel. So, but it doesn't always happen that way. So.
All right. So let's see. Wow, I got so many questions, man. Time flies too quick. I have too many questions and not enough time. So that's what I
got plenty of stuff, just so you know.
Yeah, well, I don't want to burn you out, and we're already approaching an hour. So,
I'm good.
All right, so, I think that question's already answered. Let's see. Okay, what did you do? What did you do before you were a touring professional?
Well, I own a commercial cleaning company, and so basically I have about 20 people working for me, and it runs itself. I got the right people that work for me, so it's there, and it's it's part of our livelihood. But 5 years ago, Aaron Hall, he used to work for FLW, and he passed away. But they called me for about 4 years saying, hey, we want to do this for you on tour. Everything paid for, truck, you name it, entry fees, everything. and I had to turn it down because I had my 3 kids and they're, young and still in the house. And so, but as they grew, and 2 of them are out of the house, and now I got one. Sheldon's still here, and he's a fishing fool, by the way. But it's just at that point, Aaron said, "Hey, you're not, right before he cast, you're not getting any younger," and I was kind of like, "Oh man." So that's when I decided to go fish the tour, but like you said, I'm treating it as a business though, and I would love to just only fish full time, and it's getting there. I'm working on a lot of good sponsor deals, and a lot of people believe in me, and so but I'm treating it more as a business than anything. So to say what was I doing before? Well, I'm kind of still doing it, but I'm starting to travel more and more tournaments, and so eventually it will be full time, hopefully, as long as I have the support of the family and everybody else. So that's the plan.
I got a text message. I was reading it. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna give a little bit of some more Jimmy knowledge here, or some Jimmy background. So if you didn't know, two of Jimmy wins were in 2006. 2006, both FLW tournaments on the Delta and Clear Lake. So he won two events, which helped him hoist the Angler of the Year trophy over his head in that one year. And then the following year, in 2007, he followed up with another win on the Delta as well, which is pretty cool. And you also didn't know, Jimmy Reese had anyways, he had a handicap of half a stroke. He is at one time is or was. Are you still is it past tense? Golfer. Jimmy Reese is a golfer.
I'm trying to get it up. Because nobody wants me to be on their team right now because I'm not playing that much.
You could be on my team because I guarantee you would whoop my rear. I am a horrible golfer. Horrible.
Uh-huh.
But I'm good at drinking beer and keeping you company.
We'll have fun then. For sure.
Yeah. So I take you on a kayak. You take me golfing. Wait, no. It's basically you'd be teaching me how to fish Clear Lake too. So never mind. Never mind.
The whole week go fish, golf, and kayak. Right?
Yeah. That sounds like a good time. Let's see. Okay, so all right. So I kind of gotta do a little bit of my one little piece. Okay, so tonight's Easy 3Z is what we call it. Every episode we do, we call Easy 3Z. Is brought to you by Fisherman's Warehouse. Remember to head over to fishermanswarehouse.com or any of the 3 locations and pick up tonight's Easy 3Z. So we're going to ask Jimmy what his 3 easiest baits. The three easiest baits right now to go catch fish. If you were to go right now, no matter where it may be, what are the 3 baits you would put on and use to catch the 3 easiest fish? Because our limit is 3 fish, so that's why it's the Easy 3Z. The 3 baits you'd use to catch the 3 easiest fish to get you a kayak bass limit.
All right, you ready?
Go.
And fortunately, I have most of them right here. So one, everybody knows what that is. Margarita Mutilator.
Yeah.
Drop shot. So probably a drop shot, 10-inch leader, 1/4 ounce weight, 8-pound test. I got a 2-aught Robo Worm, with the keeper on there, or Gamakatsu hook. So that's number 1. Number 2, you guys probably saw the commercial, the Frenzy. I got a California roll, Yamamoto California roll on there.
Not a flirt.
3/16 ounce, maybe a 1/4 ounce Frenzy shaky head. Nothing works, just so you guys know. Number 3. Probably, I don't have any here, but probably a Cinco. I have to go with a Cinco.
All soft plastics, huh?
Well, you just said I had to put 3 fish in the well.
Yeah, the easiest 3 too.
Yeah, I got to eat.
Yeah.
I'm putting those in the well.
You can't eat them. We're tournament fishing. You can't eat them.
I'll get some of these, some big old swim baits and go have fun, So, how about a triple trout maybe?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
No.
Right, look at that! So, look at that Calco's bait sack. I saw that.
See, I'll tell you. I mean, I don't know if anybody doesn't know about the bait sacks, but for all you guys, on kayaks, I mean, this is a must. That way, any treble hooks, you don't have to worry about all your rods getting tangled, right? You know, just put it in the bait sack. It connects to your rod right here. Yes, dear.
I have something to say about that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. My sidekick here.
Oh, I was just going to say, you fishermen like it, but the rest of us like it too, because our dogs, our clothes, and our stuff does not get caught in fishing hooks. So.
There you go.
Christmas gift. Should I buy that for the wife?
No.
Stocking stuffers. baby.
Stocking
For you,
stuffers.
make the wife happy.
There we
you
go. Great little plug there. Okay. All right, so that's the easy threezy. Thank you, Jimmy, for doing that. Head over to Fisherman's Warehouse, and we do sell the Frenzy Head, and we do carry the California Roll as well as the Margarita Mutilator. What was the? You said it was a Gami, just the straight shank.
The rebarb.
The rebarb. We got those at Fisherman's Warehouse. Granted, it's not a trapper tackle hook, but it's all good. We'll let it slide.
You know, that was a secret for a long time, just so you know.
The rebarb?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And actually, I got David Dudley and a lot of the guys back east using it because it just makes sense. It keeps the worm on there, so it's a perfect way to drop trap. The only way to drop trap, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I might disagree with that, but I'm kind of I'm a trapper. I'm a trapper guy. I'm on the trapper team, so you know.
Hey, I think the innovation of trapper is amazing. I mean, they've come a long way, and yeah, pretty awesome what they're doing.
Their treble hooks are awesome. They're absolutely awesome. But anyways, I don't want to get you in trouble, so we'll stop talking about trapper. Okay, I got a good question. It's from my buddy Steve, and he says, "Why yellow and purple?" So if you don't know, back in the day, Jimmy's color scheme for his boat and his whole color scheme was yellow and purple. He had the yellow and purple boat, and everybody gave him hell for it. Is there reasoning behind that besides the marketing point of view?
I mean, purple's always been my favorite color, and so it pretty much came down to marketing, you know. And it's kind of turned into a lime green purple more now.
Yeah. I like it now. It looks nice.
Yeah, I think it looks really good together. So yeah, you know, you just got to separate yourself and find something that's, you know, your brand. You know, I mean, look what Skeet did. You know, black and yellow. You know,
yeah,
and it's crazy. You know, and it was, you know, I don't know if I did purple before he did black and yellow. I'm not sure, but I think I did. And then Aaron Martin's got a purple boat. Crown Royal came out. So, you know, it's just separating yourself from everybody else. And but I mean, it is my favorite color, so it's a good deal.
Yeah. So take it from Jimmy. If you're gonna market yourself, pick a color and stick to it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. What else we got? Yeah. Thanks, Steve, for that question. There's so many. I got way more questions to ask. Somebody asked, why does your son Sheldon always catch the big fish at the Wednesday nighters?
I wish I knew the answer to that, but that guy, I tell you what, I don't know what he does. I can't answer that question. He just can catch fish, and it's always the big one. So
right here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's you know, it's pretty awesome. You know that he can. You know, one time I said, hey, cast over there. And he didn't cast far enough. He said, no, another 15 feet. Just keep casting out there, and he did catch big fish. So I'll take half credit for one. He did.
Has a really good teacher.
Yeah. Not everybody is. Let's see. All right. So this one's pretty easy. If you didn't know, Jimmy's home lake is Clear Lake. So he's a stud out there. He's won out there multiple times. He's probably taken a lot of people's money. So he's probably one of those guys, if you see pull up to Clear Lake, you're like, great. Pack up your stuff and go home. But looks like Jimmy's interested in fishing the KBF Open. So we might.
I'm there.
Yeah, dude.
I'll get permission. I'm there.
Yeah, $10,000, dude. And we always get somebody like, here's a question that's kind of rolled into here. So with a few of the FLW and Elite Pros getting kayak sponsors, will we see you one anytime soon? So it sounds like it's quite a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a better brand or not, but yeah, I mean, I know Jackson's kayak, he fishes the tour. He's there all the time. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I fished out of a Jackson before I switched to Hobie, and but like I said, I'm a fisherman. I'm not a kayaker, so that's why I got a Hobie. I'll just leave it at that.
I'll tell you what, you guys get me in a kayak, and I'll get you guys into a Ranger boat.
We're gonna make that a deal. I'll figure out when I can. I'm gonna talk to Matthew Brandon because I know he's got an extra rig, and I don't know how we're gonna fight Amanda, but I don't know if you want to fit 3 more people in your boat. But anyway, so if you're watching, Matthew, you heard that Jimmy's gonna take us out on the boat because you're the only person that lives up there that has one, another extra rig that I know of. So, anyways, moving on.
I'm actually going up to Reading tomorrow or Thursday to get my new boat.
Oh yeah,
I got the 521L coming in.
If you have time, I don't know how much downtime you'll have while you're Reading. But no, seriously, go up to Headwaters Kayak Shop up there. I've been to Reading and I've been there. We had a Shasta tournament there last year, but well, technically it was this year, earlier in March. We have another one again in Shasta in March. But anyway, so go ahead, check out Headwaters Adventure Company.
Headwaters. Okay.
Headwaters Adventure Company. Tell them Wes Jones sent you. They know who I am. The guy Brian Nodson. I can't say his last name. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Okay, and then you got Terry Arbuckle and then Joe Arbuckle, the owners up there, and they sell Hobie, and I believe they sell quite a few other ones, but Hobie's what you want to look into. But yeah, hit them up, Headwaters Adventure Company, and pick their brains, man.
I'll go by there. I'll send you a picture. I got the 16-inch carbon on the console and a couple 12s up front. So
yeah, you plug and play, because if you can remove your 16-inch from your front, you can remove it. All you got to do is get the transducer and all the power cords, and all you got to do is just plug that. You just got to plug it in. It's just You
probably have a place to put it, right?
Yeah, there'll be a place to put it. Yeah, you just need a ram. If you can mount it with a ram ball on your boat, you can ram it with a ram ball on your kayak.
Okay.
So, anyway, all right. So we've been going over an hour here, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm going to scroll through a couple questions, see if I can find something good. So if you got a question and I missed it, I apologize. We did have a couch auction going here. Oh, I can't really do it. It must have already been done. The winner last year fish crappie areas. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the winner who won out at Kentucky Lake last year, the national championship, won $35,000. By the way.
Oh wow.
Yes, $35,000 out of a kayak. He won $35,000. He was fishing. The what do they call those poles they use for crappie?
Power pole?
No, at Kentucky Lake. We're talking about Kentucky Lake. So. They have all those poles that all those guys crappie fish. I don't know I can't remember what they call them, but anyways, that's what he won last year. I actually interviewed him earlier in the year. Kurt Smits won. Let's see. What is Jimmy's favorite bait to imitate those? Oh, must be talking about the gizzard shad. Looks like I went quite a bit further down than I thought. Favorite bait to imitate the gizzard shad.
You got to go with the big Bass Tricks, that 8-inch. That's about, most of the lakes that have the big gizzard shad, that's probably the best bait to throw. And the trick is trying to find the right jig head to put in there so it doesn't slip. And, and I haven't found a perfect one yet, but I know it's out there. And I bet somebody's going to go to my Jimmy Reese Professional Angler page on Facebook and tell me which one it is, because I need to find it. But that's for sure the best one to go.
So I don't throw Bass Tricks much. I just don't. I'm not much of a swim bait guy. But
yeah,
I guess a screw lock doesn't work because it's too hollow. It just kind of falls through, kind of thing. Is that the problem? I figured as much.
Yeah, the ideal one is something that'll keep the inside just from sliding up and down. And so that's the hard part, because you want that hook stationary. You want it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. I can do it with my thumb. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I didn't know I could do that. Anyway, so to get that hook like that and keep it stationary and not folding up or down. I mean, it'd be really cool to get something cement inside of that hollow belly to keep it still, especially like when you're setting the hook too. So, but yeah, that's a good way to go.
Right on. Kent Brown's probably not watching anymore. We probably bored him to death. But he makes the comment, "Are you Skeet Reese's brother?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I taught him everything. When we were float tubing way back when, Ski was we were fishing Spring Lake in Santa Rosa, and my brother and I, and Ski was out in his float tube, and my twin brother and I, John, we were sitting there throwing rocks at him, just throwing pebbles, and he's sitting there, "I'm gonna be a Bassmasters pro." He's 16 or 15 or whatever, and we're just throwing rocks at him, and we're laughing at him. Okay, yeah, whatever. So anyway, so.
Yeah, I guess. Let's see, Hoagie. Anyways, Michael Voice says you're gonna walk out with a Hobie. Yeah, it's totally possible.
Hey, you never know.
Never know. So with that, let's see. Okay, so what events you gonna be planning to fish this year? So because we're gonna wrap it up here. What events you plan on fishing next year, so people can keep in touch with you?
I'm gonna start out. I'm actually leaving December 28th to Florida. My buddy Chuck Gavros, he's with Top This. Him and I are gonna drive out there and fish the first Costa event on Okeechobee. So that's the first week of January. Then we'll fly home for a few weeks, and then head back out to Okeechobee for the first tour event.
Oh, wow.
So so it's a good schedule. We'll go to Harris Chainmate after that, and then we'll go up to Lake Lanier, which I've never been to. So there'll be some big old small spotted bass.
Oh yeah.
They'll be large too. And then we'll go to Lake Cumberland, which we were there last year, and that's where I caught my personal best, that 5-pound smallmouth. Actually on my sawed-off shotgun spinning rod, and but it was 5 pounds, and that thing. There's some big old smallmouth in that lake, just so you know. And then we go to Smith Lake, big spots again, and then Kentucky Lake, and then we go up to Detroit, fish Lake St. Clair.
Smith is the one that's got all the giant spots that are competitive with a lot of ours out here, right? Isn't it Smith?
They have high spots.
No, I'm saying like they have some of the bigger spots at Smith Lake.
Oh yeah.
That's the one we see all the behemoth ones that kind of give us Californians a run for our money.
Oh, for sure. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. That's a neat lake. Expect the California guys to do good at that one.
Yeah, they typically do. Most certainly. Yep. Spotted bass is my jam. This year we pretty much the past 2 years pretty much fished the Delta primarily, and that is not my jam. I could hold my own in the kayak scene, but I'm a lake fisherman.
Right.
So the spotted bass I think we only have 3 events on the Delta next year out of like 8 months for fishing. So I got 5 months of opportunity to hopefully shine. Let's pray to the gods. Let's pray.
Actually, well, I'm going to fish the Costa event on the West Coast too. So I'll fish Havasu, the Delta, and then also Clear Lake in May. So it's going to be fun trying to make that all work. So, and then of course U.S. Open Lake Mead.
Hey, you know what you could do is you can always talk to the guys over FLW and say, "Hey, I'm going to fish out a kayak this time. I'm going to put a live well on the back." Put your co-angler, have him sit on the live well. Those Hobies got a 600-pound capacity.
We just need a double kayak.
Yeah, dude, they make them.
I know.
They make them a 17-footer, the Hobie 17 PA. A really funny thing, we had a guy at our I realize this is talking about us, but anyways, at Tower Park, and he was fishing the 17 PA by himself, and he had a foot control trolling motor on it, I think it had 1 or 2 power poles in the back. He was fishing that thing like it was a bass boat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
crazy.
4 lakes. James says 4 lakes and 4 delta. So I'm stoked, man. I'm antsy. I'm ready to go. I'm already ready for next year. But anyway, so where can people follow along? Actually, no. Here, back up. Any sponsors you want to thank? Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we go?
Well, first off, thank you, Lawrence, for putting this all together.
Yeah.
And you as well. So I appreciate you. And
the honor is mine. The honor is mine.
And hopefully we can do this again. You know, there's lots more to talk about, that's for sure. But Ranger and Mercury, obviously, you guys aren't going to go out and buy a Ranger Mercury right now. You're buying kayaks, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thankful to have them. Cal Coast Fishing, like you said. Hey, just so you guys know, I got a rod mule right here. Have you seen these yet, Wes?
Yes, and I actually really want to get one.
The co-anglers and for kayaking, this thing is the deal because you can carry all your rods with this, keep it organized, and of course, you put the bait sack on all your treble hooks, and it's just a great way of transporting all your equipment, all your rods and reels, and keep them safe. They're not going to break. So, but Cal Coast Fishing, Douglas Outdoor Rods. I got my whole signature series coming out soon. I was hoping last month, but it hasn't come out yet. So you guys check that out when it comes out, if you guys don't mind. When you guys are going to go buy a rod, at least just look at them. And, of course, my sawed-off shotgun, which, just so you guys know, that rod, I broke a rod, and I kept on using it through the first tour season. And I told the guys back at Douglas, I said, hey, I like this rod, but I want to do a couple things to it. And so it's perfect for skipping under docks, like Cinco's and stuff. It is perfect. And we changed a few things on it, but
is it a bait caster or is it a spinning rod?
It's a spinning rod.
Oh, nice.
And we're actually going to come out with another heavier action one. It's pretty cool. I got some videos and stuff on my Facebook page, and guys can check it out, or go to Douglas Outdoors. You can check it out there. Chuck Tavros had taught this, in Grass Valley. He works with a lot of the anglers across, the U.S. And so if you guys need anything for your truck, anything, accessories, anything, you need a cap.
We need to talk to him about start carrying kayak accessories, like for kayak rails for transporting kayaks and stuff, because we definitely have a lot more guys hitting him up. I've actually meant to talk. I meant to talk to him last year at ISE for a little while, but how things go.
Yeah, I have the Yakima on the top of my truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not perfect for a kayak, but I can put whatever.
They make kayak holders and rails and everything. If he sells Yakima, then he can get all the kayak stuff for certain.
Right. That's cool. So yeah, Gary Yamamoto, Custom Baits. They're the ones. They're pretty much the reason why I got started on the tour this year. About 4 years ago. Cush It. We already talked about this. I talked with Wes, and it sounds like this doesn't really work on the kayaks, but it's just it's a neat system. Edwin Evers had a big red one on the back of his when he won the Best Classic.
They're great. They're great, and I'm not. It's just the only problem with them is the fact that a lot of times we have we stick our rods with a butt first into a rod holder. Right. Granted, on a Hobie, we have rod tubes, much like a rod locker. If you didn't see, I took Obedy out, and I took Obedy, Obedy Williams. Everybody knows right? So I took him out on a kayak on Sunday out of Comanche, and he was blown away when he saw his rod tubes. So he was trying to stick them in butt first, and I was like, no, dude, they go in the other way. You stick the tip first, and but no, in a rod tube situation like in a Hobie, I think those would work. It's just a matter of because they're so close together. And if they would, but if we have to talk. Well, see if we can maybe potentially design something so that way we can. I don't know. We'll talk. Yeah. You and I will talk.
I am going to talk to him about it, changing the design so a little more narrower. And actually it helps the rods make them even more sensitive than they are. But your rod will float; it won't sink as well.
That's a big factor because I know guys that lose rods all the time.
Yep, and the big thing for me in a boat is like frog fishing or punching. Is I come home with all these scars.
Yeah, the bruises.
My wife.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What I'm doing all day.
It's getting deep.
Deep. Fix the edge off a little bit. So, but So Frenzy Baits, appreciate Frenzy and Greg Gutierrez. He does a great job. And yeah, I mean, I got some other sponsors, Power Poles and Bob's Machine Shop, but I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to thank them. They're all, that's why I'm able to do what I'm doing. So
Yep.
And of course, my best sponsor is my family, my wife.
Yeah, the wife is the number one sponsor. My wife is awesome, and we all. If you don't have a good wife like ours, I apologize, because mine is fantastic. She just left for work as of before I did this. So anyways, so big shout out to her and shout out to your wife. What is your wife's name, Jimmy? I want to make sure we give her due.
Catherine.
Catherine. Thank you, Catherine. We appreciate it. If you're within earshot.
You're welcome.
All right. So with that, where can people follow you? Where can we keep up with Jimmy Reese and everything in Jimmy Reese's life?
What's that?
Your Facebook.
Oh, yeah. So Jimmy Reese Professional Angler on Facebook is probably the easiest way. I mean, I have my Jimmy Reese regular page, but it's maxed out, 5,000 friends. So but pretty much that's where I go. I'm trying to get better with Twitter. So Jimmy Reese Fishing and Instagram. So, but yeah, follow me. I do contests all the time, and yeah.
Stuff.
So hopefully you guys can get on there and check it out. Share my page, like it. Trying to get to 8,000. I'm almost to 8,000. Trying to get there. So before the tour starts, I'm trying to get there.
Let's get to 10.
So yeah. And if you guys, anybody want me to share your pages, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to help out.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I have to do my drawing for last week. I'm going to do that real quick before we totally disappear. If you don't mind hanging tight, Jimmy. I still like to pick your brain a little bit afterwards. So technically it wasn't last week. I went down to twice a month because it's kind of our slow season. So every other week, if you weren't aware, every other week for Kayak Bass Live until about February, I think. Let's see. So here are all of our likes, shares, and comments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. All right. All right, 1 second. All right, so. All right, congratulations, Sean Hyatt. You are the winner for sharing 2 weeks ago. Send me your contact info or come down to Manteca Fisherman's Warehouse, and I will give you a gift card for Fisherman's Warehouse. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing, and commenting. That's how we spread the love and let everybody know what we're doing here on Kayak Bass Live, and how we get awesome people like Jimmy on here, because our audience grows. And the bigger we go, the bigger our celebrities. Jimmy, you're a celebrity now. Just so you know, you're now a celebrity. So, anyways, again, thank you for everybody tuning in. We will see you in 2 weeks. I'm not sure who we have yet, but hopefully it'll be somebody awesome. And yeah, again, Jimmy, thank you for coming on, and thank you, Catherine, for letting us borrow Jimmy. Until next time, love, peace, and chicken grease. Oh, hold on, if I can I do this? Hold on. Wait, where'd it go? There we go. Love, peace, and chicken grease.